Shout out to the Solana holders because we got some very interesting price predictions and activity going on that you guys are not going to want to miss. This is an article from CoinGate, and what it says is analyst Solana price forecast hints $4,000 target. $4,000. Now, how realistic, right? Do you guys think that is? And if you guys think that it is realistic, when do you think that it will occur? All right. Analyst Solana price forecast hints at $4,000 target. Solana price shows bullish potential as Solana gains momentum amid market optimism. Analysts eye $400 driven by strong investor confidence. Now, I'm curious as to if this was a typo. Did they mean 400 or do they mean 4,000? We shall see. All right. What it says here in the highlights is Solana forms price cup and handle, signaling bullish breakout potential. Fibonacci extensions suggest $2,236 and $4,013 as key targets. Growing investor interest and ETF optimism drive Solana's momentum. All right. And we're going to be talking about some of that very shortly. Solana price, a layer 1 blockchain, which it actually should be Solana, right? Not Solana price, has showcased exceptional growth, becoming a standout performer in the cryptocurrency market. Since early November, Solana has gained significant momentum, breaking key resistance levels amid a wider crypto rally. Over the past year, its value has surged by 218%, reflecting strong investor confidence. Despite minor dips, analysts suggest Solana's price could climb higher, with some projecting an ambitious target of 4,000. Hey man, I'm in for it. I am there for that. Can Solana price hit $400 according to analysts? A prominent crypto analyst has tweeted a bold price prediction for Solana, citing a cup and handle chart pattern. According to the analysis, Solana could potentially reach $4,000 in the near future if bullish structure materializes. Now, here's my thing, right? Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Right now, Solana is in that price range of where Ethereum was when Ethereum, for the first time, just shot to $1,500. I think that there is a possibility that this could be accurate, but at the same time, we got to wait and see. The analyst shared a monthly chart showcasing the formation of a classic cup and handle pattern. The chart suggests that Solana has been consolidating within a critical resistance zone around $260. A breakout from this range could validate the bullish thesis. All right. The prediction assumes Solana will break through its current resistance and rally towards higher Fibonacci extension levels, notably the 1.618 and 1.786 extensions, often used in technical analysis, indicate potential targets of 2,236 and 4,013 respectively. The ultimate price goal of 4,000 represents a staggering 1,861% increase from current levels. Okay, the Solana price could skyrocket, driven by growing interest in Solana meme coins like WIF and a potential ETF approval. Grayscale's recent Solana ETF filing with the SEC has boosted investor enthusiasm, aligning with rising demand across altcoin markets. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the SEC did not approve the Solana ETF. Somebody let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong or right about that. And we will be talking about that as well. All right. So we'll be able to find out in the near future. Bitcoin's strong resistance above key levels and a resurgent crypto market fuel optimism for Solana. The upcoming U.S. presidential inauguration in January could create additional market momentum. Speculation surrounding an altcoin season, alongside increased investor activity, positions Solana as a standout performer. These factors could push Solana closer to its ambitious $4,000 target. So we got to mark $4,000 on the calendar today, 12/12 of 24, and we're going to keep an eye on this price target and see how long from us doing this video to if and when we get to $4,000 by the end of 2025. Solana price eyes more bullish ahead. Over the past month, the Solana price has seen a slight surge in its value. At the time of writing, Solana price is hovering at $223.49, making a 2.78 gain over the past 24 hours. This recent performance showcases a gradual upward trend amid fluctuating market conditions. Despite the signs of recovery, the Solana price prediction faces challenges in overcoming the critical $262 resistance level. All right. So every day that we see Solana at or above $262 is a good day. All right. A breakout above this zone could pave the way for further gains, while failure to breach it might lead to a retest of the $200 support zone. So we got to look at these two numbers. We got to be keeping an eye on whether it's at 200 or below, or at 262 and above. All right. These are key things that we have to be paying very close attention to. The Chaikin money flow indicator has risen to 0.05, suggesting increasing buying pressure and capital inflow into the asset. The moving average divergence presents a bullish crossover with the MACD line climbing above the signal line. And as you guys can see, those are depicted in the graphic below. Solana's bullish momentum and strong investor interest signal potential for future growth. However, breaking critical resistance levels is crucial to achieving ambitious targets like $4,000 in the near future. I'll tell you what, I would love to see a $4,000 Solana. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Now, people might say that's not realistic, but Bitcoin traveled a larger distance in a shorter amount of time. So, you know, for the most part, as far as that goes, and realism, right? The realisticness of a goal, anything's possible, right? Ethereum, Solana, and Binance Coin about to bounce big. All right. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Bitcoin suffered a huge price reversal on Monday and is now beginning its comeback. Altcoins generally went even further into the red, and now the big three of Ethereum, Solana, and Binance Coin are about to stage their own recoveries. How far up can they go? Ethereum retests huge triangle breakout. All right. Let's see if Ethereum can break out of this triangle pattern. For the Ethereum price on the weekly time frame, things are looking very good indeed. Monday's price reversal just had the effect of forcing Ethereum back for a retest of the huge triangle. This being successful, the coast would be clear for the Ethereum bulls to free the price from this triangle and set off towards the all-time high. If the all-time high at 4,878 can be achieved, the next target is the 1.618 Fibonacci at $5,310. Okay. Solana confirms bottom of channel. The 4-hour chart for Solana shows that the price has been transversing within a descending channel. The worst point in Monday's reversal coincided perfectly with the bottom trend line of the channel from which the price has started its bounce. If the Solana bulls can push the price back to the top of the channel, a breakout from this would give a measured move to around $270, depending on how long the price takes to get back to the top and where it potentially breaks out. Solana bull flag and retest of major horizontal support. All right. And as you guys can see, there goes the graphic for that right there. On the weekly chart for Solana, things are looking great. On Monday, candlewick down has retested what is now hugely strong support at $202. Also, it can be seen that the channel is in fact a bull flag. Having just tested the bottom trend line of this bull flag, it would be likely that the price does get back to the top and break out from there. The measured move for this would be to around $340. All right, now we're talking about Binance Coin. BNB breaks out and confirms above huge ascending triangle. Another wonderful chart is that of BNB. The weekly chart shows how the price has respected the ascending trend line since all the way back to the beginning of 2018. Also, since 2021, the price has started to traverse inside of a big ascending triangle, which broke out last week and has retested this week. Fibonacci targets overhead are at $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, and $2,500. Okay, so yeah, it's looking real good. And again, what's really good about this is that a lot of these analysis are very, very consistent, right? You're not really seeing a big difference in what most of these people are saying. All right. So interestingly, right, we're talking about the institutional adoption. Look at the institutional adoption that's going on with Solana. Grayscale files to convert Solana Trust into ETF on NYSE ARCA. Now, like I said, if I'm not mistaken, right, as you guys can see, this is an old article here, and we will definitely be doing some updates on this. I think since this article was printed, the SEC denied this. They did not allow Grayscale to do this, but we'll get there. Crypto-based spot ETFs have gained traction in recent months amid a shift in regulators' attitudes towards digital assets in the United States. Okay. Grayscale Investments has filed a proposal with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to convert its Grayscale Solana Trust into a spot exchange-traded fund listed on New York Stock Exchange ARCA. The move aims to improve investor access to Solana by allowing shares of the trust to trade as an ETF on a regulated exchange, according to a 19B-4 document submitted on Tuesday. Grayscale, which currently operates the trust as an over-the-counter product, said the ETF conversion would enhance Solana's price tracking and eliminate inefficiencies caused by its unlisted structure. Grayscale's filing is the latest of several requests by crypto asset managers to offer spot Solana ETFs in the United States, shortly after the re-election of pro-crypto U.S. President-elect Donald Trump last month reignited investors' interest in digital assets. All right. And we've got 4 years of this. All right. We got 4 years of this. So, Van Eck and 21 Shares filed to issue spot Solana ETFs last summer, while Canary Capital applied to launch a Solana-based ETF in October. Meanwhile, Bitwise Asset Management made moves towards applying for a spot Solana ETF last month. An ETF is a type of financial instrument that allows for the tracking of a particular asset's price by holding that asset in reserve. A spot Solana ETF would allow institutional and retail investors to gain exposure to Solana without requiring them to hold the token themselves. Grayscale said its Solana Trust manages $134.2 million in assets, representing 0.1% of all Solana in circulation, per the document. The trust shares are currently traded under the ticker symbol GSOL on OTC markets. Still, Grayscale expects the ETF listing to increase liquidity and align the trust with other mainstream financial products. It said it follows Grayscale's successful conversion of its Bitcoin trust into a spot Bitcoin ETF in January, followed by its Ethereum trust into a spot Ethereum ETF in July. And we talked about those if you check out past videos. Crypto-based spot ETFs have gained traction in recent months amid a shift in regulators' attitudes towards digital assets in the U.S., with spot Bitcoin ETFs and their Ethereum-based counterparts gaining approval to trade earlier this year. Those developments have fueled investor hopes that spot Solana ETFs could soon clinch federal regulatory approval to begin trading in the U.S. as well. All right. Also adding to investors' optimism on the likelihood of spot Solana ETF approvals are rumors that crypto-friendly former regulator Paul Atkins is Trump's favorite to chair the SEC. Politico first reported this news last week. Solana is trading 5% higher on the day to $235, CoinGecko data shows. All right, so again, we got a lot of institutions going all in on Bitcoin. We got them all going in on Ethereum. All right. So now shout out to the people in the Discord, all right, who supply me with a lot of these articles. I want to show you guys this article here about Cypherpunk Holdings. All right. And they've changed their name to quote unquote Solana Strategies. All right. So interestingly, they clearly got some strategies that they plan on implementing with Solana. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. What is your Solana strategy? What is your Solana strategy? What is your ideal amount of tokens to hold for Solana to help you reach your goal? All right. Cypherpunk Holdings goes all in on Solana, rebrands as Solana Strategies. Okay. Cypherpunk Holdings is doubling down on its strategy to buy and stake Solana's native token and rebrand it to Solana Strategies. The firm now holds over 86,000 Solana and is running a validator that has earned about $57,000 in staking rewards as of June. All right. And as you guys know, they earn this money in Solana or some token equivalent to Solana. So that $57,000 that they're talking about is constantly fluctuating. It's constantly going up, constantly going down, right? Cypherpunk Holdings, ticker is HODL, interestingly, is doubling down on its strategy to buy and stake Solana's native token to such an extent that the publicly traded cryptocurrency holding company has been renamed Solana Strategies, it announced on Thursday. The firm, which only began buying Solana in the second quarter of 2024, when former Valkyrie CEO Leah Wald took up the reins as chief executive officer, now holds over 86,000 Solana, valued above 11 million at current prices, according to the block's data, the majority of which are being staked to earn token rewards. Now, shout out to the people in the comment section. How many of you all are staking your Solana? Might not be a bad idea to start doing, right? We've continued to put more of our balance sheet into Solana and are trying to engage with the Solana ecosystem as much as possible, Wald told The Block in an interview. We are highly focused on the Solana ecosystem. If the Solana strategy seems reminiscent of MicroStrategy's pivot to buying Bitcoin back in 2020, it is because of many similarities between the two firms' quote-unquote treasury management styles. In short, if MicroStrategy's massive Bitcoin bags became a way for investors to gain exposure to that crypto asset, Solana Strategies would do the same for Solana, okay? In June, the firm, then still Cypherpunk Holdings, became one, if not the first, publicly traded firms to put Solana on its balance sheet, making its stock a proxy vehicle for traders to gain exposure to the fastest growing blockchain without having to buy the token outright. All right. So what people need to know about Solana is that Solana is the fastest growing blockchain. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you've ever transferred from wallet to wallet using the Solana blockchain, but the Solana blockchain is pretty fast. It's also pretty efficient. We think that MicroStrategies has been very successful at utilizing their treasury management strategy to accumulate Bitcoin, given the market exposure to Bitcoin via MicroStrategies, Wald said. Cypherpunk did similarly when it bought its first 100 Bitcoin in 2019. However, Wald clarified that it's not a perfect comparison because so much of Solana Strategies tokens are locked up earning yield in company-run validators. HODL is more akin to a Bitcoin mining stock. Additionally, MicroStrategies regularly issues debt to purchase Bitcoin, making its stock a play on leveraged Bitcoin. The firm has $4 billion in debt and about $13 billion worth of Bitcoin on its balance sheet. Okay. No other companies are running a validator, and none of the staked Solana ETPs for North America are approved, Wald said. It's an interesting time right now with 3 IQ filings many months ago for a Solana ETP in Canada and Van Eck filing for a Solana ETF in the United States. Most experts believe the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission is unlikely to approve a Solana exchange-traded fund anytime soon, meaning that, at least for now, if institutional investors want exposure to Solana, buying Solana Strategy stock is one of the few available avenues. All right. Or, you could always just go ahead and get some Solana, right, and stake it yourself, which is, that's what I do. To some extent, that's also a page out of MicroStrategy's playbook. When the Michael Saylor-helmed company began adding Bitcoin to its balance sheet in August of 2020, there were no Bitcoin ETFs available in the United States. It wasn't until October 2021 that ETFs based on Bitcoin futures began trading. Spot Bitcoin ETFs hit the market in January of this year. Solana Strategies purchased its Solana tokens for an average price of $143. It has earned over 230.35 Solanas, worth $57,000 from staking as of June. Change to Solana strategies comes amid a period of rising interest in Solana, which has seen its underbase and transaction count skyrocket following the launch of meme coin launchpad Pump.fun in January. However, Wald said meme coins are a likely fad and that the trend of continued interest on a more substantive basis for Solana is still increasing. Solana's immersed throughput with minimal fees is going to start mattering as companies in the financial sector consider what blockchains they want to use to underpin their new products. Wald said, adding that she's very concerned about both Bitcoin and Ethereum's ability to affordably manage transactions on the base chain. That said, despite the name change and increased emphasis on Solana, Solana Strategies is still pursuing a multi-token, multi-equity investment strategy. Wald said the firm will maintain Bitcoin as a treasury asset, and as of its latest financial statement, the firm still has equity investments in hardware wallet firm and eco-friendly crypto Chia. Between March and July of this year, Solana Strategies sold off about 109 Bitcoin and shed the entirety of its equity stake in metaverse firm Animoca Brands, which was once its second largest investment. The firm has approximately $4.9 million in cash and $115,000 in liabilities. Its other venture capital and equity bets have a book value of nearly $500,000. Finally, when asked about the risk of the SEC one day approving Solana ETFs, thereby undercutting Solana Strategies' current moat, Wald was nonplussed. In many ways, since Solana is more esoteric, we believe that a rising tide would lift all boats here, she said. And, we see that all the time with when something goes good for Bitcoin. For the most part, the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem tends to benefit from it. Okay. The entire cryptocurrency industry tends to benefit from it. All right. So we're going to take a look at this article from Yahoo Finance. They detail a little bit more about Solana Strategies and their application for listing on the NASDAQ exchange. All right. The company's listing application is subject to review and approval by NASDAQ's listing qualifications department for compliance with all NASDAQ capital market standards, as well as any other relevant regulatory approvals. The company must also file a registration statement with the Securities and Exchange Commission and have it declared effective before being listed on the NASDAQ. Submitting our NASDAQ application represents a pivotal step in our journey to bridge institutional investment with the boundless potential of the Solana ecosystem. This milestone positions us to drive transformation growth and deliver sustained value to our shareholders as we bring our strategic vision to life. While advancing its uplisting plans, the company's common stock will continue trading on the over-the-counter market under the symbol CYFRF, and the company will continue to maintain the listings of its common stock on the Canadian Securities Exchange under the ticker symbol HODL. Solana Strategies remains committed to maximizing shareholder value and achieving a NASDAQ listing as a key component of its growth strategy. Okay. Solana Strategies is a people should actually look into this company and consider it, if you ask me, because if you ask me, and you guys can let me know if you agree or disagree, this is definitely one of the companies that could gain a lot of benefit from the Trump presidency. Okay. Solana Strategies is a publicly traded Canadian company actively investing in, supporting, and providing infrastructure for the Solana blockchain and ecosystem. The company focuses on leveraging investment opportunities and staking rewards and Solana-based projects, enabling shareholders to indirectly participate in the decentralized finance landscape. Solana Strategies is headquartered in Toronto, Canada, and is publicly listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange under the ticker _HODL_ and the over-the-counter market under the ticker _CYFRF_. Okay. So yeah, this is pretty good. All right. This is pretty good. To learn more about Solana Strategies, please visit Solana Strategies IO. All right. So, we might take a look at this, right? Shout out to the people in the Discord. If you are not in the Discord and you are watching this video, there will be a link pinned in the chat. Hit that link, join the Discord. All right. To learn more about Solana strategies, please visit www.solanastrategies.io. All right. Neither the Canadian Securities Exchange nor its market regulator, as that term is defined in the policies of the Canadian Securities Exchange, accepts responsibility for the adequacy or accuracy of this release. All right. And why would they? Because that release was it was made by the company. All right. So they just go on to talk about the news release. All right. And I don't think we need to do that. You guys can check out that link that will be pinned in the Discord if you are interested. All right. And so next, what we're going to do is we are going to talk about some institutional adoption. We're going to talk about some institutional adoption of Bitcoin. All right. And we're going to be talking more about institutional adoption of Bitcoin. Okay. We're going to be talking about more institutional adoption of Bitcoin. Now, let me ask you guys this question. When it comes to this institutional adoption of Bitcoin, what do you all think that that's going to do for the Bitcoin price? Let me know what you guys think that that's going to do for the price. It should be pretty obvious, but you know, we definitely got to ask those questions, right? We definitely got to ask those questions. And this will not be the only video about the coming Bitcoin institutional adoption. We're going to be looking at more Bitcoin institutional adoption because it's happening every day with lots of companies buying massive amounts of Bitcoin. Okay. A lot of these companies are buying massive amounts of Bitcoin like this here. Bitcoin ETFs add 676 million in one day. Holdings approach Satoshis. All right. After record breaking November, US spot Bitcoin ETFs continue to see robust inflows into the final stretch of the year. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What does that mean? Holdings approach Satoshis. Uh-oh. US spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds saw nearly $676 million of inflows on Tuesday, nearly double the 353.67 million reported on Monday, according to data from Soso Value. As of press time, the total net assets held by the asset managers behind the US spot Bitcoin ETF contracts stand at 104.25 billion. This is equivalent to around 1,076,609.7 Bitcoin, close to the estimated 1.1 million Bitcoin held by wallets belonging to Bitcoin's pseudonymous creator, Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay. BlackRock's iShare Bitcoin Trust ETF led the pack with 693.25 million of net capital inflow on the trading day. It was followed by the Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund with inflows of 52.17 million. All right. Massive amounts of Bitcoin being purchased. All right. Now, let me ask you guys this. With the available supply of Bitcoin, how much longer will there even be a supply of Bitcoin if companies and countries start buying these massive amounts of Bitcoin? Remember, there's only 21 million Bitcoin and a lot of them are already purchased and some of them are lost. So a supply shock could be coming very soon. Despite the trading day being quite a positive one, ARK21 shares Bitcoin ETF bled capital on Tuesday with 93.5 million in outflows on the trading day. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust ETF saw no net asset flow in or out of the fund on yesterday, after controlling almost the totality of the US Bitcoin spot ETF. When converted from a close-ended fund, it lost its stronghold and only controlled under a quarter of the market in late August. Now, this contract holds nearly 20.6 billion versus market leader IBIT's holding of nearly 48.5 billion. All right. So what's behind the Bitcoin ETF surge? People want to get in on that money. People finally are seeing the value of Bitcoin. People are finally seeing the utility of Bitcoin, and people are finally seeing the potential gains that can be achieved through buying and holding Bitcoin. Companies want that. They want to be able to sell and control that for their investors, and they are using creative ways to do that as of right now. Bitcoin ETF are on a tear right now with a record $7.6 billion, wow, in monthly net inflows across November. Founder of Obchakevich Research, Alex Obchakevich, told Decrypt attributed the significant surge in investments to the recent victory of Donald Trump and the Republican Party in U.S. elections. He argued that Trump's position is as pro-crypto as possible, increasing market confidence and attracting institutional investors. And I would not disagree with that. And again, this is one of the things that I tried to stress during the election, and I believe that it went upon deaf ears. But the people who got the money, they didn't sleep on this. Okay. The growth was also greatly influenced by the approval of funds by the regulator, which freed investors' hands to interact with Bitcoin ETFs in a regulated environment, he concluded. Valentin Valentin Fournier, digital asset intelligence at market intelligence firm BRN, noted that Tuesday's robust crypto ETF inflows also saw Ethereum spot ETFs pull in 133 million to their coffers. Obchakevich suggested that heightened interest in crypto ETFs may allow the crypto market to capture new sectors and go beyond the crypto community. He highlighted that we already have a recent case study from Tether where a financial transaction to buy oil was conducted using US dollar Tether. We are on the verge of big changes where crypto ETFs are an important part of one big puzzle, he concluded. And I completely agree. Don't sit this out, because if you sit this out, you will be involuntarily, permanently on the bench. You will be involuntarily, permanently on the bench. Okay. So more Bitcoin adoption. Huge swell of Bitcoin adoption is taking place right now. Okay. People are not sleeping on this. People are not sleeping on this. With Bitcoin still tracking at around the $100,000 level, the world is preparing for the next huge stage of Bitcoin adoption. As massive institutions and sovereign countries climb aboard, the adoption curve is about to get a lot steeper. El Salvador becomes more flexible to accommodate IMF. When one thinks of Bitcoin adoption on the sovereign level, El Salvador will normally spring to mind. The very first country to make Bitcoin legal tender, following the lead of its far-sighted president, Nayib Bukele, El Salvador has plowed a lonely furrow up till now, with dire warnings from the IMF as to what would happen with such a policy in place. However, despite this, El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin has done wonders for the country, as its holdings have produced more than $300 million in profit thus far. Nonetheless, the IMF is back again, and this time has obliged El Salvador to make some changes to its Bitcoin policy, one of the many strings attached to an IMF loan. Thankfully, the strings in this respect are not too onerous, and among the other things, they require El Salvador to change its Bitcoin law so that not all businesses are obligated to accept Bitcoin for payments. Another requirement is that El Salvador increases its foreign reserves. Besides accommodating the IMF for this important $1.3 billion loan, this should also facilitate loans from other major lenders, such as the World Bank and the Inter-American Development Bank. U.S. and Russia among world powers looking at Bitcoin adoption. Other countries are on the verge of adopting Bitcoin in a big way, and these include some of the world's preeminent economic powers. U.S. is in the throes of a complete turnaround in its attitude to Bitcoin, with Donald Trump assuming the presidential mantle in January. Besides filling his administration's top job with mostly pro-Bitcoiners, Trump has said that he wants to set up a U.S. Bitcoin strategic reserve. At the same time, various U.S. states are moving forward with plans for their own individual strategic Bitcoin reserves. It's not just the United States. A dialogue is taking place in Russian government circles as to the possibility of setting up a strategic Bitcoin reserve. On top of this, it must be wondered just how many other countries are also considering this or have even started to mine or secretly buy Bitcoin, thus getting ahead in the potential Bitcoin buying arms race. All right. So what we have is we are on the verge of a financial cold war. We're on the verge of a financial cold war. The short-term time frame for Bitcoin looks promising. A good level of support and resistance is developing at the $98,200 horizontal line. A recent breakout of a potential triangle has taken place, although it may well be that more price action could see another pattern change. The more time that price action can spend above the support level, the more likely it will be that this could be a base for the next upward thrust. Okay. The 2-week chart, the fantastic progress that Bitcoin made since breaking above the previous bull market top of $69,000 is totally evident. At the bottom of the chart, the MACD indicator, which gives buy and sell signals, is showing that it is very bullish. The blue line is above the orange signal line, with the jaws of these two lines wide open. Also, the dark green bars below are still being formed. The next bar is due to print at the end of this week. If it is a bigger dark green bar, then expect buying to continue and prices to keep going up. All right. And that is exactly what we want to see. All right. That is exactly what we want to see. All right. So again, more evidence of Bitcoin adoption. Predictions. Where will Solana be by the end of the month? We've got about 19 days. Where will Solana be in January of 2025? Let me know what you guys think. And I'm not a mind reader, so in order to do that, you got to leave a comment. Smash that like button, hit that bell. Please share this stream to your social media, and I will catch you all on the next video. All right? Peace.